Albert Einstein, whose theories changed the world of science forever, faced a time in his life when he struggled to find a job for 9 years. In fact, among his classmates, if anyone didn't get a job, it was Einstein. But who would have thought that the boy who was considered the slowest learner in school would one day be offered the presidency of Israel? What was Einstein's response to the Israeli ambassador? And what were the reasons why such an intelligent person couldn't get a job? Welcome back to It's Released, where we explore fascinating stories. Albert Einstein was born in 1879 in Ulm, Germany. Even as a child, he was seen as different because he wasn't like other kids. He was a slow learner, started speaking late, and his teachers considered him an average or weak student. But the reason behind this was that Einstein saw everything with curiosity. If he didn't understand something in school, instead of memorizing it, he would focus on understanding the concepts. This made him fall behind in his studies. Einstein was highly creative from childhood, which was both his weakness and later his strength. His early education took place in Munich, where he disliked the strict, discipline-based German schooling system. Frustrated, he eventually left school and moved to Switzerland with his family to join its more liberal education system. He wanted to study physics and mathematics at the Zurich Polytechnic College. In the entrance exam, he aced the math and physics papers, but failed subjects like geology, literature, and politics. A professor at the college, impressed by Einstein's math and physics answers, asked who had taught him. Einstein replied that he had taught himself. However, since he failed other subjects, the professor told him he would have to spend another year in school to prepare for them. Disappointed, Einstein did so and passed the entrance exam the next year. Even in college, Einstein's nature didn't change. He skipped boring lectures, studied on his own, and didn't impress his professors. As a result, when he graduated in 1900, his professors refused to recommend him for jobs. At that time, strong recommendations were crucial for academic or research positions, and Einstein had none. His classmates, whom he outperformed academically, secured good jobs because they had professors' support. Einstein applied to universities, schools, and research institutes across Germany and Switzerland, but faced rejection everywhere. Letters, meetings, nothing worked. The responses were always the same. "We regret to inform you, we cannot hire you." This was painful for Einstein, who believed his potential wasn't being recognized. In his diary, he once wrote, "It feels like the world has no need for me. Every door seems closed." In a letter to his family, he mentioned, "I apply everywhere, but no one responds or needs me. It seems nothing in my life is going right." His frustration affected his personal life too. Financial struggles, tensions in his relationship with his girlfriend Mileva, and dissatisfaction with himself weighed heavily. Einstein was idealistic. He only wanted a job related to science and had no interest in practical or commercial work. His relationship with Mileva, a classmate, was strained because he couldn't find a job, and the financial pressure grew. Eventually, Einstein worked as a private tutor, teaching math and physics to school students. A friend later advised him to apply for a low-level government job as an examiner at the Bern Patent Office. Surprisingly, despite his lack of experience, he got the job in 1902. His role was to review patent applications and check if they were truly innovative. The job was boring, but it gave him stability. Since it was a 9-to-5 job, He spent nights and weekends on his scientific research. Then, in 1905, while working at the patent office, Einstein made his biggest breakthrough. He published 4 revolutionary papers in 1 year, including the theories of special relativity, the photoelectric effect, Brownian motion, and mass energy equivalence, E equals mc squared. These papers shook the scientific world. Suddenly, the man with an ordinary job became famous among Europe's top scientists. By 1909, 9 years after graduating, Einstein finally received an offer to become an assistant professor at the University of Zurich. Einstein's personality was often misunderstood. Outside science, he was seen as a quirky, socially awkward scientist with messy hair, lost in his books and theories. But he was also a serious political figure. In 1932, he fled Germany just a year after Hitler came to power. Einstein, who was Jewish, opposed Hitler's regime and moved to America, becoming a professor of theoretical physics at Princeton, New Jersey. He wasn't just a scientific hero, but also a respected figure in the global Jewish community. During this time, Israel was being established, and tensions in Palestine were high. In 1948, Israel officially became a nation. 4 years later, in 1952, Israel's first president, Chaim Weizmann, passed away. The Zionist leaders considered Einstein as the next president, a renowned physicist and a cultural icon. On November 17, 1952, Einstein received a letter from Abba Eban, Israel's ambassador to the UN. The letter conveyed Prime Minister David Ben-Gurion's offer. If the Israeli parliament elected him as president, would he accept? The offer included moving to Israel and taking citizenship, with assurances that he could continue his scientific work freely. It was a huge and emotional offer, but Einstein had other plans. He responded, "I am deeply moved by the offer, but also sad and ashamed that I cannot accept it. I have always dealt with objective matters and lack the natural ability and experience to handle people or official duties." Einstein, then 73, explained to a guest at his home that the offer felt awkward. Later, he told a Jerusalem newspaper, "I do not wish to face a situation where I must follow government decisions that may go against my conscience." He wasn't refusing just because he felt unfit for politics, but also because he never wanted to compromise his principles, no matter the honor or position. People excited about the idea of Einstein as president overlooked one thing. While he sympathized with Israel, he was never a passionate Zionist. In 1946, 2 years before Israel's creation, Einstein had said, "The idea of a state is not close to my heart." He didn't want Israel as a separate state. On December 16, 1952, Yitzhak Ben-Zvi became Israel's second president. We hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, share, and leave your comments below.